Hello. Hello.
Oh, man.
Happy Sunday. Where are you going?
I don't know, we look a little grainy. Shouldn't be
It might
grainy.
just be not enough light.
Maybe.
That can make graininess. I feel like we look like we're in the dark.
I don't know what's going on. Julie, you can entertain the people, right?
I mean, I don't know. Not really. It's cold here, and by cold, probably not cold to a lot of other people. What is it, 55 degrees Fahrenheit here? That's not very cold.
So now that I have the nice camera for us, I'm using my old 1080p webcam with a long USB cable for the cat cam. So no more lag, I don't think. I think we should be able to say, peace.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
There's
that's
usually,
fun.
what was it, like a full 10-second lag before. Effie, look how cute he is. He's like, what the fuck? Why are you looking at me?
Let's see, where's my...
TK Matt's here. Hi. Hello, Arch Inquisitor. Why is this monitor so, slanted back?
Because I'm tall.
I don't remember it being like this before.
Well, it used to be lower.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you are pretty tall.
I won't stay. Oh, what's going on, Matt? How's it going? Well, that's a cat.
That is a cat. Okay. So...
Oh, Julie's got topics. Go ahead, Julie.
Still total lockdown. Oh, it's just on me.
Well, that's what the people came for, so go ahead. Give them your monologue.
Hey, what's up? I was just gonna, oh god, I was just gonna say that, you know, we have rewards to review and Cybertronic stuff to talk about. That's what's happening today. Every time I'm on stream, I just look at my eyebrows and I'm like, what's happening with them? I don't feel like they're...
Hi, Julie. Welcome to the Julie Show.
Hi, Thorgal.
Every week, the camera just gets more and more on Julie, and I'll just be in the background pushing the buttons and controlling things. Camera 1, camera 2. Camera 1, camera 2.
Hey, everybody, check out my cool Doomtrooper hoodie, all right? Cool stuff right here. Yeah.
Yeah, we will, in fact, do another run of those hoodies. At least one more. So if people do want the hoodies, they're actually really cool. You can see Julie's boob armor. There was one that said Doomtrooper Alpha, but those will obviously not be printed again. But it has every one of the 3rd edition corporations plus Algaroth and Brotherhood, and then in the middle you have the Secret Cow level logo. So it's actually probably my favorite merch that I've made.
I like it.
With Julie in charge, we'll have the final DT version in no time. You obviously don't know my wife.
Lazy. So the reason that we work is because, like, I'm like lazy but also like chill, and I like to just like not do stuff, and like, and he's like, I don't want to say high strung. He's not high strung. He's like constantly working and thinking and doing stuff, and like 10 o'clock at night he's sitting in here programming, and I'm like watching a home makeover show out there, and like he gets like, he talks a lot, and I just go, and that's how we work. I took on a freelance project recently, and I'm just like, oh my god, because I'm not used to having like any extra levels of work and stress in my life. But thanks for thinking that.
We just tripled our viewing rate as we zoom in on Julie.
Oh, thanks, babe. I did put makeup on.
Wow.
I didn't wear a low-cut shirt, though, but I do have boob armor.
Boob is armor. Remember?
Yeah. I remember.
Also, I got this fun little thing for my digital camera that's just a box with a mirror. So you mount it on top of the camera, so because it's pointed at me. So now I can look at the mirror and it'll reflect the screen on the back to my eyes. So like if I need to adjust a setting, I don't have to like awkwardly climb back there and look at it. It's kind of neat.
It's kind of cool. It's not great, but it works.
It was like $12.
Makeovers are important.
Oh.
It just gives me like envy because unless we decide to leave Los Angeles, we'll be in this apartment until we die.
So, unrelated to anything, have you guys heard of CryptoPunks? Or if you haven't heard of CryptoPunks, are you familiar with crypto art?
We talked about this last night, and I just failed to understand why anybody would care, but...
Yeah, crypto art or non-fungible tokens, which is relevant.
What did you just...
Non-fungible tokens.
Funge with a G?
With a G.
Not fundable? Funge?
Oh, this one doesn't have a setup? Shit. We don't have the webcam set up.
You don't.
Yeah, non-fungible tokens or NFTs are a thing. Man, I broke my OBS. Bear with me. Julie, be nice.
I'm always nice.
I know, but talk while I'm fixing this. You're not talking.
I don't know what to say. You really put me in the spot here. I don't know. We had a kerfuffle last night at the apartment. Somebody tried to break into our carport area and go through our stuff, and our neighbor had to chase him off. Just another day of living in a city.
Yeah. Do you have more about that?
No, that's the whole story that I'm willing to tell on camera. And we talked about this last week, I think, that crematoriums had to we have like regular, so like LA sits in like not mountains, but like a hill bowl, if you will, like a basin, because we have hills surrounding us, except for the side with the ocean. So it's really easy for the city to get like smoggy because it just kind of like sits there in this basin. So we do have, and also it's California, right? So we have we have stricter air regulations than like a lot of the other parts of the country. They had to lift those regulations for crematoriums because so many people have died in Los Angeles in the past 2 months that they're like backed up with storing all of these dead bodies. So they had to lift the regulations so that crematoriums can keep working. That's how things are here in Los Angeles.
All right, so what I was saying, CryptoPunk was the first NFT. So without being too nerdy, an NFT is like...
I don't know that that's possible for you.
An NFT is like a Bitcoin, but a Bitcoin, you can buy 1 Bitcoin, you can buy half a Bitcoin, you can buy 1/100th of a Bitcoin. You can break it down. An NFT is a thing that is also on the blockchain that can only be sold as is. So you can't buy half of an NFT. You have to buy it or not buy it, and there can only be one.
There can only be one.
So somebody made these CryptoPunk. It's really tiny, I know, but each one of those is like a little pixel art guy. And it runs on the blockchain, and you can buy one. And you can say, if you go over 10 and down 10, I own that one. And you're the only person in the world who owns that one.
Yay, and an ugly piece of art.
And it started the crypto art movement, which is the idea of owning art. People do physical art with blockchain verification on it, but the cool part is digital art that you can actually say you own, and you can sell it to somebody else who can have ownership. It's a really unique concept. And it's the same concept or similar concept that's used in certain video games when they want to do ownership, like CCGs. But one of these little dudes sold for $762,000 yesterday.
That's so much. 700, almost $1 million.
Yeah.
For a little tiny piece of digital art.
It's valued at $1 million. That's what people are guessing that's worth. The cheapest one that you can buy right now less rare, I guess, and maybe there are multiples of some, I don't know, is about $6,000. So
like probably like 8,000 pounds.
have you heard what the U.S. Treasury Secretary says about crypto? I heard her talk like she has no idea what she's talking about, which I assume is what you're referring to. So I'm hoping, with respect, that she educates herself a little bit on the world economy as well as the digital economy before she goes and tries to ruin something that the rest of the world is going to use without the U.S., which will basically leave the U.S. behind financially. So I'm sure she'll figure it out.
Let's hope so.
Yeah. So this is
Michael, welcome to the stream.
So this is relevant to Doomtrooper. For some of you maybe who haven't heard the plan, I'm going to be, let me move back here. I'm going to be, hopefully this year, 2021, looking into and integrating NFTs into Doomtrooper. And how I plan on doing it is all of the cards you own now are going to be considered unlimited. So they are cards that you get in packs, and you can destroy them, and you can use the crafting materials to craft new cards, which is probably going to go live in the next month or so, by the way. You can earn them for free, you can get them in packs, whatever. But you can't trade them. You'll never, ever be able to trade them. Then we're going to make multiple tiers of blockchain-backed versions of the cards. There will be one tier, and they'll have different art. They'll have like a different border or something. There will be one tier that, and we're going to call all of these the limited set. One tier of the limited set, we will mint or print, you can consider it. I mean, digital, physical can confuse people. But if we were physically printing them, we would say print. In digital, we'll say mint. But we will mint, like, let's say...
Mint means to print.
Yeah, let's say we mint 10 of every ultra rare, 20 of every rare, 30 of every uncommon, and 100 of every common, something like that. And then that'll be it from that set. And we will sell those in special packs that you can earn. The limited cards cannot be destroyed, but they will be able to be traded, which is the difference. So you can't craft them and you can't destroy them, but you will be able to trade them. And since they will be blockchain backed, you will be able to buy them, sell them, and trade them outside of Doomtrooper itself. Like, you would be able to say, I own this card, let me sell it to you. Somebody sends you some Bitcoin or Ether or PayPal, and you send them the NFT, and now they own that card. And the game will read the blockchain to know who owns that card. So it's still early in development, but I think it'll be really cool. And the last part of that is you will be able to take your unlimited cards, if you collect, say, 5 of them or 10 of them, and craft them into a limited card. So you'll lose, say, 10 unlimited cards, but you'll gain 1 limited. And the reason you would want to do that is the 10 limited cards are just digital assets that live in Doomtrooper, and whatever, you quit, they stay there. But let's say, hypothetically, you decide that you're done playing Doomtrooper. You've moved on, you no longer like techno, horror, fantasy, whatever. But you have tons of cards that you've bought. You could craft a bunch of your cards into blockchain-backed versions, then sell those. If you had really rare ones, you could sell them on the market, make back some of the money that you spent buying packs, and make somebody else really happy. So you could actually, in a way, you could reimburse yourself or even get paid for playing Doomtrooper. And that's a really, really cool prospect. Matt says he had a question. So sorry, Matt, go ahead. Ask your question and I will respond. One thing I saw too that Gods Unchained did, which is the main crypto-backed CCG that I encourage everybody to check out. They're doing some cool stuff with crypto. They have what's called a mythic card, where only one exists.
Only one.
So imagine there was only one Alakai the Cunning. Ever. And if you own it, you own it. And if you stop playing or unfortunately pass away, that card's gone forever. Or you could sell it for, where's my button? $762,000 worth of ether to somebody else who wanted to own the only Alakai the Cunning. Something like that. Like, I will probably throw a few, like, I don't know, variant cards like that are just like super rare, like full art, animated, blockchain-backed, high-tier Alakai the Cunning. There's only one, and then you guys can like trade it amongst yourselves. It might be fun. So yeah. Matt says, what happens when I find a card in a booster pack and I already have the max amount in my collection? So it's not working right. I have to fix some algorithms with the packs, but you won't get so right now, related to the blockchain stuff, you're allowed to have 10. The rules state that you can own 10 of the cards, even though you can only use 3 in most decks. And that's up for debate. Some people might not like that, but the reason is so that as we do crafting, especially the blockchain crafting, will allow you to collect a bunch to convert into rare. However, if you have the max, which is currently going to be 10, it will not show up in the algorithm for getting new ones. So you won't actually get new ones. Let's say there's 300 common.
Right, so you have 10, it won't
Yeah,
even
let's
show
say
up in the pack?
there's 100 common cards, and you only own one of those cards, and you own 10 of them, and that's it. That's your whole collection. When you open a pack, it'll draw from the other 99 because you don't have enough room to get that new one.
So what happens if you own like a bajillion cards and you own 10 of like everything? You gotta program that someday. Oh, no, don't. Oh, I thought you were gonna put it.
I just reached for my coffee.
Do the standby thing again and yell at me for some reason.
It does work like that now, but there's a bug with it, so I'm going to be fixing that either this weekend or next week. That, and there's also a thing called a pity timer. So that means every X amount of packs you open, if you don't get a rare or you don't get an ultra rare, it'll guarantee that you get one. I'm trying to fix that today, actually. So that's some fixes in the packs that are coming. And to answer Julie's question, if you spent like $1 million and you have 10 of every card, including ultra rares, I haven't implemented that, but in theory, you would just get all variant cards. And if you had,
gonna break the system.
Yeah, now I'm thinking like, so what if you had 10 of every card, including variant cards? The game will just crash.
Right?
It'll just
like,
explode.
you have everything.
I don't know.
The end.
That's a really good question, though. It's something that I should account for.
I mean, eventually, right? I mean, we hoping. But...
I'll just start paying you at that point, if we get to that point. And I will thank you for funding the next 2 decades of Doomtrooper development for buying so many cards. So yeah, so I'm going to be fixing the packs. That's why we're testing the packs and they're resetting, is to make sure the algorithm is good. And then the whole part about crafting and blockchain is a better focus in adding new cards. Well, not true. None of the blockchain none of the blockchain stuff will happen until after the base set is done. Another problem with blockchain and ownership is we can't really change the cards after you permanently own them. So that's going to be an interesting thing that we'll have to solve. Also, random fun fact, Bitcoin a minute ago was worth 31337, or 1337 if you're familiar with the significance of that number. And at the exact same time, 1 Ether was worth 1337. It's like a super nerdy moment that we may never see again.
They're
Bitcoin,
the same thing.
No, one was 31337.
Oh, sorry.
Do you not know the significance of 1337?
It wasn't even a good explanation.
Julie's never seen the movie Hackers, apparently.
You know I have. They don't even talk about that in that movie.
No. Michael says Bitcoin dropped quite a bit this week. Yeah, and then it recovered, and then it dropped a little bit today. I mean, it's pretty normal. People are confused with the stuff that was going on with the U.S., and there was some false reports of a Bitcoin bug that people freaked out about, but I guess that was proven untrue. I don't know. I've paid off all my credit cards pretty much twice with Bitcoin, so I highly recommend people stop sleeping on it. Would you buy CD Projekt's Red shares? My initial answer, Thorgal, is no. But my second answer is if the problems with CD Projekt Red has dropped their stock like significantly, then Blood Rain. Then I would buy it if it dropped low enough.
Santa Claus. Oh no, was that Thursday?
Oh, I don't know. Santa Claus coming in
gifting subs.
Thank you.
That's very nice of you,
Val.
as always.
I thought it just said Justin Renard has subscribed, and I was like, wait, how did I subscribe to myself? I do really think that blockchain-backed ownership is a really cool thing. So when I get bored with programming, I've been reading. I think it's called ERC 721 tokens. I might have that number wrong, but it's a standard created by CryptoPunk, basically, to have items that you own digitally that are non-fungible and backed by the blockchain.
It just sounds like you're saying it wrong every time.
Yeah. So there's also, I don't know a lot about it, but if you guys are interested in researching it, there's this website called OpenSea that I just started looking at. This is like the Amazon or eBay of these digital things that you can own.
I just don't understand it. I just am not.
So here's some domain names you can buy. There are virtual worlds where you can buy land and then you can build things on that land.
Why don't you just play Animal Crossing or Sims? Like, why do you need to spend this much money on these virtual things? It's failing to make sense to my brain.
Yeah, I mean, here's Crypto Heroes #9 Ledger Joker. So it looks like some sort of gold variant, whatever.
That is cool.
Yeah. So there's a lot of really cool stuff you can do with this platform.
I can own some ones and zeros. Exactly.
I'm going to say the same thing to my wife that is always said about Bitcoin is, pull $1 out of your wallet. And what is that? Like
it's just $1. It's just gonna grow.
It's a representation of something that you can give to somebody else and they will trade you. It's a barter system. There's no gold backing your dollar anymore. It is just a piece of paper in your pocket. So what's the difference between a piece of paper and something digital? I mean, if you can't wrap your head around the idea of holding something versus non-holding something, I can't argue, but yeah, the idea is that ownership doesn't have to be tangible. Like you can own something. Like how about your domain name? I own Doomtrooper.com. That's just ones and zeros, right? But like I own it. You can't have it. I control it, and I can do anything I want. If I want to turn Doomtrooper.com into a porn site, I can do that. I'm legally allowed to do that because I own it. But
this week Vince Diamond takes off the augments.
But what is a domain name? It's just ones and zeros in a database somewhere that tells the world that it goes to my domain. So how is that different than, saying I own this Crypto Heroes Heath Ledger Joker card? It's really the same thing.
Is it Heath Ledger? It looks like just any. Yeah. It does say that. It doesn't look like him or his Joker.
So, I mean, digital, we own domain names. We don't think that's weird, but then we think it's weird to own a digital trading card or digital art. Why? I can sell the domain name to you for whatever I want, and then it just transfers the domain to you. Or I could sell you a digital trading card for whatever I want and transfer the card to you. So that's when it starts to come in for Doomtrooper. If a host owns yours, you did something wrong, Balfour. Because I would argue the semantics are just confusing you, because you can right now unlock that domain name and transfer it to a new host, for $0, or you just pay the new host for the hosting fee. So in theory, not in theory, in practice, you do own that. Otherwise, they wouldn't let you transfer. The lesson here is we put value on strange things. I'm going to disagree with you again. Your entire business model right now is digital. You're blogging, you're streaming, and you're making podcasts, and none of those are tangible. None of those are things that I can touch, I can hold. Yet you want subscriptions, and you want fans, and you want followers, and you will turn that into money and happiness. So
Money and happiness.
your entire life and your entire hobby and your entire business is purely digital. So I don't think it's strange at all. I think it's completely normal. But that's the thing, like, there will be people who will understand the future and there will be people who don't understand the future, and you can't fault either of them. My mom still cannot quite figure out what happens when she minimizes her browser window.
Your mom can't even fill out a form.
Yeah, my mom's just like, where to go?
Form.
Google's gone. Like, no, Mom, it's minimized. You got to bring it back up. For a decade now, she had lost her browser window when she minimized it.
Imagine how many open browser windows she probably has. I bet you every time she logs in, she like opens a new one. Oh wow! Kitty gun.
Yeah, and my grandma couldn't figure out cordless phones. She didn't understand how it didn't have a wire, and it just drove her crazy. And I think I'm at the age now, Julie and I both are at the age now, where we are expected to fall behind. But I try really hard to make sure that I keep up on what's happening.
We grew up with technology. We have grown with it.
Yeah. And I do really believe in digital assets and ownership. I think, to Balfour's point even, he was talking about, I don't own it, my registrar does. Well, I mean, your registrar holds it. But if domain names became blockchain backed, nobody would hold it. You would just own it, and you wouldn't have to rely on anybody else, and that'd be really cool. So, anyways, back to Doomtrooper.
We should quickly review. What day is this? It is January 24th. There are a few days left on the season rewards. Show them. Show them to the people.
I wasn't ready for that.
Unacceptable.
Sorry, I had all this stuff all prepped up, and then Julie shocked me.
What are you guys watching? We finished Lupin. We don't even have anything going on right now. I mean, we're WandaVision, but like, you can't binge that. Somebody tell me. We need another show to watch. Okay, so we got the avatars up top.
Yeah. So the top two are the Algaroth avatars here, and then the Algaroth card backs are right here.
So is that like, whose castle is that? Is that like Algaroth's home?
I think it is, but I'd have to double check. I think Matt made them, so he might know the answer if he's hanging out.
M. Knots. Tennessee.
Is it any good, Lupin?
I really liked it. We don't speak French, and it's dubbed in English. I actually didn't find it that distracting. It was still really good. It's 5 episodes. There's the next bulk of them will come out later this year. It's hard not to like those types of shows when it's about like pulling off heists or figuring out who done it. But yeah, I think it's fun too. I agree, Balfour. The real blood rain. Yeah, it was really good. Yeah.
Thorvald's trying to produce you.
No, it's onto his list. Onto his push list, he's saying.
I thought he was saying, like, move on.
No, he's saying it's onto his list.
Alright, so...
Smart peep.
So the first draft of the augment system is done. It's not the final vision that we want. We'd like to enhance it. We're going to change the stats. We're going to add more augments. But the base system getting tested is finally ready. The only one missing here is our Eradicator Death Droid, which he's more or less done. I'm adding the art to the augments because he has special augments, which I'll talk about in a second. Whoa, there's a typo.
What? Where?
Okay, I just noticed a typo. So they're supposed to say augment one time.
Oh, wow, that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I was adjusting the text. So,
Whoops.
When you play the Chaussier, he augments one time, then, which I'll explain in a second. Vince Diamond augments 3 times when you play him, and he no longer gives buffs to Chaussiers.
Look at that beefy man.
Then you have Mirror Man. Whenever another warrior in your squad receives an augment, Mirror Man receives it as well. I'm looking for ways to make that text shorter, but it's been difficult. Same with this one. When played, augment 3 times. I tried doing augment 3, but that doesn't really make sense. It sounds like it costs 3 to augment. That's not right. And I tried doing augment 3 times, but then it's like, well, how do you know it's when he's played versus when he's activated? Like, it's tricky. We need a universal way in all cards to say on play or when added to squad, but a way to do that is concise and consistent and easy to translate. So right now I have when played augment 3 times, but I would love that to just be on play augment 3 or something. But like, I don't know.
At least it's one line.
So if any of you guys are really fluent in English, more so than me, please offer suggestions. So anyways, he still retains his first strike. And whenever another warrior in your squad receives an augment, Mirror Man receives it as well. So for example, you play Mirror Man, then you play Vince Diamond and you augment him 3 times. Everything you give to Vince will also go to the Mirror Man, which is really cool. Yeah, I'll show in 1 second, Matt. Then Scrap Heap is when a Cybertronic warrior is killed, gain 1 scrap counter. 1 action plus 1 counter, which is another thing I'd like to shorten. Augment target Cybertronic warrior. So, let me find my task. I didn't make a button for this one. But yeah, I'll show you how it works real quick. As soon as my shit loads. There we go. So, I mean, the UI is still early. I'd like there to be custom animations for the augment system, but you'll see.
I'm gonna sneeze.
All right, so first I'm gonna play the Mirror Man. So, you know, he doesn't really do anything. He just hangs out. Then I'm still playing with the stats. That's gonna get tweaked pretty quickly. So Chassier augments once. He's 1/1/4, right? So I'll play him, and then you get asked to choose an augment. So we will give him, he was 1/1/4, we'll give him armor, which is the best augment. So he comes out 1/1/6, but Mirror Man also went up to 4. And these are not attachments, these are augments to their stats. Like, they're not technically base stats, which could prove a bug with cards like Fragment of the True Chip. I may have to adjust that, but they are stat modifications that are not tied to attachments, so they can't be miscommunicated or any kind of interrupt. Like, they're part of the warrior.
Oh, bye. Bye, Balfour.
Bye, Balfour.
It's good to see you. Thank you, Tycho.
He gifted another one?
Oh, we gifted it. Oh, ha!
Thank you, sir.
Santa.
So Scrap Heap is a support card, so it goes over here. And then when you play Vince Diamond, it's like, oh, I'm going to give him armor, armor, and armor. And he comes out massive armor, but you'll see Mirror Man got it as well. So really, I'm testing the system, the balance, and the actual augments. I think we're going to go ahead and be tweaking. I'd like to have second tier augments and some more augments. Like, this is the tier 1. Real quick, so I'll kill the Chassier, so he dies. And then we will activate Scrap Heap, and I'll say, okay, we're going to give Vince Cybernetic Power Arm. So he received it, went to 7 attack, and the Mirror Man received it as well. And I'm thinking about adding a fake card that would do an augment, but I'm not sure yet how to do it. But it might sneak its way into the first set. But I would like to add another augment, like, so these are +2 to each stat. I'd like to add another tier 1 that is +1 to all stats. So if you wanted to kind of just bring everything up a little bit, you could, but it wouldn't bring it up as much. And then I would like to do tier 2 augments that Vince could use and other people could use. For example, if you had 2 counters on Scrap Heap, you could do a tier 2, which might add First Strike to a warrior or add Slayer to a warrior or something along those lines. But you would have to use 2 tokens instead of 1. So that's something that I'm thinking about. But generally, the system will work, and we will play around with it to give Cybertronic guys a little more uniqueness as we're playing, as we're finishing the rest of the set.
The kitten is being really cute.
Oh yeah.
That's Doggo.
Hi, Effie. He's high, guys. You'll have to forgive him. So the Eradicator Death Droid is the one I'm finishing today. It's the same exact system. I just have to make art for his cards. So Steve found this art.
That's cool looking.
So I gotta look it up again, but I think on the left here, let's see if I can make that bigger.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Eradicator Death Droid. Oh. So if you look closely here, you will see a chainsaw. And then up here,
yeah,
you'll
he
see
does
like
have
a
a
Gatling
chainsaw.
gun. And then down here, shoulder-mounted gun. I don't know. I have to look it up again, but in the book, there are 3 different special abilities that the Eradicator has. So when you play the Eradicator Death Droid, he will have a list of those 3 unique items, and you can give one to him when he's played. So if you want him to, have Slayer, if you want him to have massive stats, whatever, like he'll have a more so he'll be a very unique player, as he should be, because the Death Droid is
Chainsaw arm.
the Death Droid is a cool guy, but he's not very special right now when his card is played, so we'll need to fix that. So he will augment one time, but it'll be a special augment that only he has access to. And that'll complete the first tier of testing augments, finally. Which is also the first tier of a choose one system, which more cards will come online next week that use that. So you'll be able to play a guy and it'll say, gain 5 destiny or gain 1 action. And you just pick one. And that's going to open up a lot of potential for cards. Not quite RNG, but player, I guess you could call it player-induced randomness. You never know which one your opponent's going to pick. So that'll be really neat.
That is really neat.
Go on, Julie.
Stop it! Justin! Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I've had a lot of bugs with that I've been fixing, and a lot of little issues and stuff that, for example, there was a bug where if you use Scrap Heap to augment the Mirror Man, his script would fire and he would get it twice. And it's like, well, it's supposed to be when another warrior augments, he gets it. So I had to fix like little edge cases like that. But I tried to fix them all before it goes live so that you guys don't dive in all excited to test augments and then, it fails. So that being said, that is going live now. Fun fact for the people hanging out in here, the new code that goes live, I think, will automatically grant everybody a reset, collection reset. Just the nature that the code works, and it's not in my interest to fuck around with it. But then on February 1st, you will automatically get a reset again. So in the next update, I'm pretty sure automatically you'll have the ability to reset your collection if you want to. Then on February 1st, you'll get a forced reset and the token back, and that'll continue on the 1st of every month as it was intended. So and the February rewards in light of augments will be Cybertronic. So I will be posting that in the game and trying to get in the habit of letting people know the rewards for the season on the earlier in the month, like on the 1st, as opposed to right at the end. So I think that'll be helpful.
Indeed. Cool. So do you guys already know what you're going to do yet for artwork? That's TBD at this point?
I showed it a few minutes ago.
Oh, whoops.
I mean, kind of. So I think we had 17 people last week, and we currently have 5.
I know. I don't.
What is the deal? What is the deal with Twitch? I don't get it.
I don't know what the difference between this week and last week is,
The weirdest thing.
7, what's up?
7.
715209.
Oh, I thought someone said something and I missed it. The weird thing is, like, I never expected this, is when the game was really buggy, we just had a ton of people hanging out in chat, in Discord, and we had a ton of people hanging out on Twitch. But then now, we have tons of people playing the game, but then nobody hangs out on Twitch. Like,
I mean, at least they're playing the game.
I mean, it's really cool that people are playing the game.
Yeah.
But I would think that they would...
That would translate to
Yeah, they would-
talking.
Yeah, or wanting to find out about the next patch and stuff, and at least coming to this stream. But it doesn't seem to be the case. And I like Thorgal. I appreciate that Thorgal gets the Mirror Man. He said, hence, Mirror Man. I was like, yeah, there are only a few cards in the game that I can say that I was the main designer of, personally. So, I was the main designer of the Cartel Grunt, Cartel Soldier combo. So I designed the Cartel Special Forces thing. I really like that. I designed the ability for Sean Gallagher, which I'm pretty happy with, but it could be in tweaked a little bit. But I really like Sean Gallagher, and I thought him being able to add Slayer was a cool ability for like the lore and the Klansmen. And then augments were mostly my idea, but Mirror Man specifically was my idea. I was trying to think about how to make unique cards instead of just having all the cards be the same. And him receiving augments kind of fits his name. And I don't know if it technically fits the lore. I should read up on it, but Mirror Man's a really cool card. And this is going to be a pretty unique and really powerful card. And it's common, isn't it? Yeah. So this card kind of represents a lot to me, because if this card can be this good and this powerful, it's also, and be common, that's really good. We might have to buff his stats. Maybe he starts at 2/2/3 or something to keep him useful. But playing Mirror Man and then Vince Diamond is a pretty cool combo because he's first strike. I want to play with that a little more though. I want to make sure that as a common card he's useful, even if he's not as useful as he seems right now. So we'll revisit. But we want common cards to be useful, and we want cards, especially commons, to be useful in combos, because there aren't a lot of combos in Doomtrooper, and Mirror Man represents a direction that I want to see the cards go, so that they have better combination play. If anybody's familiar with, I think it's Edwin Van Cleef in Edwin Van Cleef
What?
in Hearthstone.
Oh.
I love this card. Can we get a big picture of it?
Enhance. Oh.
Yeah. Gain +2/+2 for each other card you played this turn. Like I didn't play a ton of Thief or whatever. I'm forgetting how Hearthstone works. But I did have this card, and it's so much fun because you have to just play a bunch of shitty cards that are cheap that you don't care about, and then you drop him on the board, and if you played 7 cards, he's gaining 14 stats. Like, that's awesome. And I always think about that card when I'm trying to make changes to Doomtrooper cards, because it's a really shitty card unless you combine it with a bunch of other cards. And I'd like to bring that feeling back a bit. No kittens.
No kittens.
Julie, you doing work right now?
No.
Why do you smile when you say no?
No.
It says we have 5 people, but then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little avatars. I do not understand Twitch's
Counting.
yeah. I assume that means a bunch of you have us minimized and muted, but you know, it is what it is. So we have 9 more minutes. If anybody has any questions about Doomtrooper or blockchain-backed trading or what Julie did with her spare time in the evenings this weekend.
I took a nap.
No, nobody asked.
I don't usually do.
Otherwise, we'll just hang out. And oh, Matt has a question. What's going on, Matt?
I had dreams. It was awesome. And I had a cat. And it
Oh,
was
clearly.
it rained, which never rains here, so it was
think-
very, very enjoyable.
I think, and I'm verifying. Yeah, thanks to Balfour. I don't think he's here anymore, but he might be. He's still on our screen. I now have double-digit subscribers.
Aw,
Look at that.
good work. Thank you,
11 of
Balfour.
you, which 7 of are Balfour, are subscribed to me. Can you please show me how the capital sniper works? Capital sniper, huh? Oh, I'm also going to make unobtained cards turned on by default in this update based on something that was said in chat. So that you can always see that there are cards you don't own. I feel like
It's the carrots, you guys.
yeah, I feel like people don't realize that they need to buy packs to get more cards. It's subtle, but whatever. The infantry, the one that's not out yet, Matt? Are we sponsoring DT blockchain from Michael's second mortgage? I don't fully know how to answer that, Thorgal, but a brief note about how that would work. So what I would plan to do is I would print X amount of those cards and I'd make limited edition packs. And they might be, let's say, $5 instead of $1. But all those cards can be traded. And I would release them on let's say the first of the month every month. I would set aside for like 6 months. There'll be multiple chances at different time zones to buy those packs. Then I would also retain a small set of them that we would give away as prizes, and also maybe sell or auction off to help fund Doomtrooper development. So maybe we'll say like, here is a blockchain-backed variant Big Bob Watts. Bidding starts at $1. And if you guys don't want it, somebody gets it for $1. And if you do want it, maybe Doomtrooper raises a little bit of money. And the cool thing is if you were to spend $100 on buying this blockchain-backed Big Bob Watts, that sets its value because it's tradable. So that sets its value at, I bought this for $100, therefore it is worth at least $100. So you could go and sell it to somebody else for $150 based on the history of the value. And that's what makes NFTs really cool. Like, people like Julie were saying they don't understand why you would buy a little pixel art guy. Well, I think what people forget is the first version of that was free. That guy who sold for $700,000, the first guy who got it, all he had to do is say, I'll take it. And it was $0.
Do you know when that was? Approximately, like how long?
I don't.
These things...
A couple years. So it was like, who wants these? There's 10,000 of them. The first person to claim it gets it. So people just took them. And then they said, well, I'll give this to you for $1. And then he said, well, I'll sell it to you for $2. And now, $762,000. Same with Bitcoin. Someone's like, oh, I'll buy a pizza with Bitcoin. It'll cost me 6,000 Bitcoins. And now those 6,000 Bitcoins are worth $1 billion. Well, you bought a pizza with it a decade ago. So the value changes. So you gotta think about it like that. It's kind of cool.
You're cool.
He is not available yet, but the reason he's not is because it's tricky, Matt. So he says, may perform a free shoot action against any warrior that attacks one of your warriors. This attack occurs before the battle tactic is announced, and and the enemy attacker survives. The original combat continues. If more than one sniper wishes to shoot, you choose the order of the attacks. So that requires some design decisions, likely. There are a few cards in the game that require forced combat. Like, you play a fate card and it says, you know, a warrior immediately attacks this other warrior, or something along those lines. So I need to make sure that that works. And once that works, I think this card will start to work. So basically, if I get the new UI done, cards that are activatable during combat will show up to the right of your hand. So when you're in combat, like a combat gets triggered and you get a chance to interrupt, your infantry sniper would show up next to your hand and you would drag him to the combat area and release it. And then it would alert the other player that the infantry sniper was played, and it would trigger it would stop that combat and trigger a different combat. And then when that combat finishes, if possible, it would automatically trigger the original combat again. There's, as you can imagine, code is kind of like dominoes, and that's a lot of dominoes that are, some of them existing that are solid, and then some of them that don't exist yet, and they all have to topple each other. So there's a
In
lot
the
that can go
right
wrong.
way.
Like what happens if you attack me and then I play a fake card, then you miscommunicate the fake card, then I play a different one, then you play a different one, then I do infantry sniper. Do we just lose all those fake cards because they've been played? Then we switch to the new combat, and then after we're done, we switch back to a fresh version? Or do we have to resume the original combat that already had those cards played? I mean, the resuming would be too hard. So basically, we'll have to consider the previous combat done, trigger the new one, then start a fresh one. But that, that's tricky. There's a lot happening. What is your avatar? This is an avatar that has gotten lost. It was literally the first one, I think.
Like the first?
Yeah. And it was never decided what to do with it. So it just kind of exists. And when I test locally, the script that sets it up just gives me the first avatar. And it's this one. It is a black and white drawing of Nephrite, though.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to see, but...
I can see it's not right.
So, black and white stuff, avatars at least, the only one we've given away was given away in real life. So we were originally going to keep black and white avatars to be real life, but then we added the M1. So it's pretty much decided that black and white avatars are just like really rare and given away in special occasions. So they're not traditionally going to be things that you can earn. They're probably not going to be things that you can earn in packs, but if you can, they'll be like the really rare ones. Like the pre-order was black and white. So, and the coffee one that you could previously buy was black and white. So like they don't have like a set, a way to get them. Whereas the Halloween ones come from Halloween events and the corporate ones come from faction packs. Like there's like trends. I like the black and white ones being unique. All the titles.
Founding president.
Oh man. So hopefully the things keep going well. Like the foundation of the code and ready. We should be adding a ton of cards. We are adding a ton of cards. The augment stuff was
A little hurdle to get
a
over.
little sidetrack that I had to finish after all these years. But there's a lot of really cool stuff that we can add, and we will be adding. And then we'll play with balance a little more. Damn it, Balfour. Thank you, sir. I will also say that...
Balfour, when do you stream? You want to throw that up on here?
Yeah, please, Balfour. Tell the people when you stream. I will also say that... I lost my train of thought. Oh, I was looking at the statistics for cards, and Mitch Hunter is almost never played. Like, twice. He's been played twice in 30 days. So... yeah, he's gonna get some love. He's not very good.
Look at all those bits. The cup is full.
It's true. It is full. So Mitch Hunter is gonna get some love. And as I announced in Discord, if you look at... oh, I already removed it. So Cybernetic Power Arm and Cybernetic Retinas... oh, I didn't even have Mitch on the screen. Ha! Look at that.
That whole time, Mitch wasn't on the screen?
Yeah, my bad. Cybernetic Power Arms and Cybernetic Retinas are being removed from the game. Statistical-wise, they're not played very much. So they are being removed as attachments and added back as augment tokens. So they will live on in their current fashion, but that opens up... since they don't take place of your deck, the idea is that it opens up your deck to have more other strategies in it. You don't have to worry so much about putting attachments in, because no one is putting them in anyway.
I feel like this is a good place to end. I feel like we did what we came here to do. We talked about Doomtrooper. Talked about cybernetic augments. We talked about the rewards that you have 6 or 7 more days to get. Justin, you're ridiculous. So, yeah. It was a good week.
Also support my my pseudo sponsors. Liquid Death. Wait, where's my button? And I don't have a button, but I'm gonna consider myself pretty much sponsored by Filthy Casual at this point. So definitely check out Filthy Casual's clothes. This is my new hoodie that I got from them. It is super thick and super like cozy. I also got their crew neck sweater, which is also really soft. So I'm just trying to like load up on soft new sweaters and hoodies so that I feel all cozy while it's cold.
Wear, like pajama wear.
Yeah.
Leisure wear. Inside.
You're the reason I'm poor between Liquid Death and subs. Well,
thank you.
I'll have to come throw some bits your way next time I see you live, Balfour. I appreciate that.
Once I get the vaccine. Ha! Whenever we get
Well, once you get the vaccine, you know, you're going to go back home, and then you're going to wait for the second part of the vaccine, and then you're going to go back home for like 45 more days, and then you're going to...
It's supposed to be that much time in between.
Then you're going to come hang out.
It's like 28 days or something. 28 days later.
But yeah, I should be finishing augments today. I knocked out all the bugs last night, and then I have to patch some new audio stuff that was fixed, some new sound effect stuff, and patch the art so that you guys get the new art for integrated armor system. Oops.
Bye, Torgal.
Almost hit the wrong button. Into integrate, yeah. So like cards like this have new armor, so I have to patch that out so that you guys get it so it's not broken.
This art was decided on the Thursday night stream.
Well, thank you guys for hanging out. Sorry there's no cats.
Fucking cats.
There's a corgi though.
Old man Corgo. Schnitzel Bitzel! You're just covering the whole camera, Justin. We just see this hoodie. It's just hoodie vision.
It's a good boy. He doesn't even give
I
a
know,
fuck.
I'm like, he didn't even move.
Alright. Well, thank you guys for hanging out. I will probably post the update. I mean, traditionally the servers get slow after 4 p.m. Pacific, so I'll probably post it sometime after that. Yeah.
Yes. Everybody go check out Matano.
Yeah, definitely go check out Matano. I'll actually, we'll drop in. Is it 4? For some reason, it does not work for me. But thank you guys for hanging out, and I will be back this week doing some more programming streams.
Oh, you will?
Most likely. If I had to guess, since augments are done, we'll just be adding new cards. Just try to get as many as we can this week so we can do like a 10-card update next week, which would be awesome. So, also UI-wise, I would like to do further improvements to the target select screen. Stuff that was brought up in Discord this week, like having trouble figuring out which card you're targeting in that screen and which ones are yours and which ones are your opponents and that kind of thing. Just make that a little bit better. But mostly focus on new cards. So, all right. Matt, always a pleasure. We're going to raid Matano right now, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.